Today is his biggest match. Later on in the day, 10-2 against CMQ. So we're going to see if they're both still undefeated when we get there, who the top dog really is.
That's going to be an interesting match. And Will and I are both talking before.
Gang. It's the same amount of elixir. Check this out. Bats plus skeletons is 469 DPS compared to the 364 of Goblin Gang. 25% more DPS for the same elixir. And it cycles 2 cards instead of 1 card. So, and it doesn't die to log, although it's admittedly all dead to zap. So we could see that 2-card combination maybe in a cycle deck or maybe just as a really useful defensive card.
Yeah, so we saw both players sitting at full elixir for a little bit. Rice is going to get really aggressive on the right-hand side here. Hog Rider coming behind the Ice Golem. Goblins will clean it up. Mega Minion's going to be locked onto the Hog Rider. Hog Rider's going to be able to get some hits in. The Goblins are on the left-hand side, taking the flak of the tower while the Hog Rider just chips away. The Mega Minion does not attack fast enough.
What a fireball by Rice! Woohoo! And we mentioned, play what you're comfortable with. Rice, one of the best Hog Rider players in the world, goes, you know what? I think I'm a better player than this opponent. Instead of trying to psych myself out, let me just play what I'm comfortable with and try to brute force my way to a victory.
And after that first push, I don't doubt that quite a bit, that Rice is one of the best Hog Rider players in the world.
Here comes Goblins, but that's it. Just seeing what he's doing with Goblins. Actually, if you ignore it, that's several hundred damage, and now it's within Fireball range. We know Rice has a Fireball. Fireball does 229 at tournament caps, 3 damage away. I wonder if Rice in his head thought, like, oh, if he ignores these Goblins, that'll put him in Fireball. Like, he might have been doing the math in his head going, this'll work.
Yeah, in an Unstoppable's position where you have a beatdown deck, you kind of have to ignore damage like that.
Yeah, you can't react to every little 2 elixir chippy thing that your opponent plays, or you're in big trouble.
Yeah, Minions and Mega Minion will clean up this Night Witch, no problem. The Dark Goblin's going to chip away at the Lava Hound. Let's see if Rice is going to be able to fireball this when it comes out. No, he's going to play the Ice Golem and just tank. Tombstone's going to come down for the Balloon, but I think the Balloon might be able to get to the tower if Rice doesn't stop this. No, Fireball's going to come down, clean that up, no problem. Mega Minion on the left-hand side, though, got in 3 chunks.
Unstoppable's got to be happy with that because even though the Fireball obviously stopped the Balloon from getting there, he got that much more damage on the left side tower, which is really where he's trying to push. So we have Lava Loon against Hog Rider Spellbait. Yeah.
And Night Witch versus the Goblin Barrel instead, because we've seen the Hoglock bait. But he has Tombstone instead of Inferno Tower in this one as well.
Definitely going with a faster cycle. One thing that Rice is really going to want to win this in the next 30 seconds in regulation time. Once you hit double elixir time, the matchup heavily switches to favor Lava Loon. You're seeing it right now. Unstoppable, who got really beat badly early, is really pushing that damage in and threatening to take a tower. If this goes to a 1 tower on each side match, it could be not good for Rice.
Yeah, and we see both towers go down here. Rice does have the health advantage, though. Not by much. 1 lightning out, but we'll see what happens here. Night Witch on the left-hand side, Lava Hound being prepared on the right. Might see a Hog Rider come in now. There's a Hog Rider. Minions get played. Log is going to come out and take care of that Goblin Gang, and this Hog is going to be able to connect to the tower. And the Night Witch is going to be able to get 1 hit on before she falls. Hog getting a little bit of damage. 696 remains.
Watch for a balloon in the middle. Oh, there's a balloon in the middle. I was going to say, watch for it in the middle because it could blow up immediately on the Tombstone and then keep going.
If this balloon connects, this could be deadly.
I think he was trying to pull it backwards. I think the plan there was to pull it backwards, or it slipped off his finger. Take your choice.
He might have played the wrong card.
I see what you're saying.
But that's not in lightning range. The Hog is going to be able to connect for 1. Oh,
spell cycled his way through it.
Was it in lightning range?
I think he might have mirrored lightning. I'm not sure. I think or lightning zap. He did lightning zap.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, the zap was what cleaned it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. At that game-winning moment right here, the balloon push coming in, there's the lightning and zap we see along the bottom side. I did forget he had zap, But the Dark Goblin actually did a lot of damage here. And he was able to clean up that balloon, no problem, and then take care of the Lava Pups pretty fast, but that balloon death damage, it was 384. And then the lightning.
And the matchups really matters, I mean, so much at this point in the game because, like I said, if Rice are not that effective, we did see in the first game, Rice had a Hog Rider with a predicted log. Log cleared out the defending Goblin Gang, and yet the Hog Rider only got 2 hits.
Yeah, Rice coming in very aggressive right here. Minor Battle Ram Bandit. The Battle Ram is going to connect to the tower, and the Bandit's going to charge onto the tower and get a couple hits in there as well. Already triple digits. What a starting for Rice.
And I love Elixir Collector more than most, and even I'm starting to get talked out of playing Elixir Collector in these decks. How many times in this tournament the last 3 weeks have we seen people open with an Elixir Collector only to get completely uppercutted for 2,000 or more damage?
almost every game it's played.
Yeah.
I would say.
Like, the worst thing that could possibly happen is that, you know, you split your archers in the back or whatever, your opponent gets an elixir collector out, and you go, oh no, I shouldn't let that happen.
Here comes a Mega Minion balloon on the right-hand side.
And this is actually, the Mega Minion should be able to clear off those bats, buy a little time. That balloon looks like it's gonna make it to the tower.
Yeah, the poison's, it's out of poison range as well.
That's a second drop, this could take the whole tower. It's right now gonna get a third drop unless it gets zapped.
Yep, that's a
wow.
And the lava pups on the left-hand side doing a ton of damage. That's gonna put that tower into triple digits as well. Unstoppable gets another pump onto the field, and this game is looking very grim for Rice.
And you know, this is this tale of two games right here. Rice once again starts off with a huge push, takes the tower, can't really defend against this Lava Loon deck. And Lava Loon twice in a row for Unstoppable too. No shame, no fear. Not worried about getting countered, just goes for it.
Yeah, and the Miner's gonna come down, but I think it's too late. I think Unstoppable already has enough elixir to get another push going.
One thing that helps here, though, is that you can't really split push anymore. So any balloons or whatever that are coming in are all going towards the same side. These executional tornadoes are going to be really effective. He doesn't really want to use the tornado until the balloon comes down. Got to use it early.
Balloon's actually going for the King Tower.
Uh-oh. You might be seeing a 3-crown here.
Log is going to come down, clean up that Goblin gang.
We might see it.
Yeah, Balloon's going to probably get 3 or 4 hits off. The tower's going to turn to focus, so it'll probably be 3. Nope. Yep, there's the third hit.
Oh, there's third. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep, Miner poison coming in on this left-hand side. That'll take the tower, most likely, or bring it close enough for another poison cycle.
Rice is the hardest player to read in this whole tournament. How do you sweep McHugh and then get swept by Unstoppable, you know, right after? On top of that, week 1, we saw him go 2-0, 4-0, and then lose his last 2 matches, one from the Godslayer. So, like, I don't know, when it comes to the spring finals, is Rice in it to win it, or is, you know, he's like a total enigma? It's impossible to read this guy.
It could be underestimating your opponents.
Could be that too. He got a little too confident. When it goes, Rice shoots up a match win only to lose shortly thereafter.
But he did keep himself safe, because if he did lose that first match,
you're right,
he could have been in trouble.
The split pushing it. We saw it in both games. Here we are looking at the replay from the second game here. What happened is you see already a lot of defense played against the Lava Hound. When that balloon came down, the only real defense was Night Witch. Night Witch poisoned 8 elixir against an 8 elixir push of Unstoppable, and he took the tower for it. I mean, it's about as positive of an elixir trade as you can get.
Yeah, the only air damage Rice had in his deck was Executioner and Night Witch.
2 matches in, 8 left to go. These players still have a lot of room to solidify themselves, but remember, this is the final week. By the end of today, we will know exactly who sits where on this ladder. Right now, Unstoppable is looking really in a tight spot. He's 0-4. He still has 3 games left, so he can potentially pull himself out. And Oxlet posturing himself to potentially be top 2. And remember, these players are playing for a $1 million prize pool. There's so much on the line for these guys, and they have to understand what their potential could be.
I'm kind of sad. Unstoppable losing that game.
Yeah.
Unstoppable, super stoppable.
He's very stoppable.
Gosh, look at that first place. It's $15,000.
Yeah, there's so much money on the line. At least Unstoppable
I thought the round robin was for the 15,000, so I was like, yes.
You like
No.
that?
I already got 15,000.
And for those of you that don't recognize that voice, we have here the legend himself, the undefeated 10-2.